Hello, my name is Angelou Ezilo. I'm the founder and CEO of Green Youth Foundation. I want to thank you to all of our students, partners, interns, staff, supporters, everyone out there, and welcome to the State of GYF Address. So the purpose of this address today is to really let everyone know out there amidst this COVID-19 pandemic that GYF is here for you. We're here to address any concerns, questions, issues that might be happening out in the field, well, virtual fields as it relates to our interns and core members. And to let you basically know that our virtual doors are open. So I also want to talk about self-care a little bit. This is all very scary, quite frankly. Because this is like uncharted waters, every day I wake up and is because of uncertainty, there's a feeling of anxiety and that could lead to depression and so forth. So I really wanted to just talk about what we can do to make sure our mental health is in order. So if you will, I'd love to share my morning practice with you and some of the things that I've been doing to keep me sane during these crazy times. So when I wake up, I meditate. There are so many meditation apps that are available out there. One of the ones that I do is the Inside Timer, but there's also Calm, and there are many others. And we have a list of resources that we certainly will share. Another thing that I do after I meditate is I chant. So, I am not presuming what anybody's religion but I just think that a spiritual connection is really important right now. So as a Buddhist, I chant, and whether you're a Muslim or Christian, whatever you are, I think it's important to connect to something so that you understand that there's a bigger picture and a bigger purpose, and it's much bigger than all of us. And then the other thing is getting outside. I know that there's all these orders of how to be outside, but you could still get outside and go for a walk. There's something about nature that is really soothing and healing. So we go on walks. We take our dog. Our dog is probably tired of the number of walks that we take her on, but we get outside as much as we can. Another thing that I like to do is exercise, particularly dance. I really enjoy dancing. And at first I was like, how am I still going to do this? Because I would go to a lot of dance classes and so forth. But now I do it online. There's so many virtual classes and things that you can do to keep those endorphins going. So shout out to D Nice, because I've been all over his quarantine party and really enjoying it. And then the other thing is Zoom calls, like we're doing right now. I think that it's so important to connect with your friends and loved ones. So I have like this hangout that I do every Friday with my girlfriends, and we actually have a glass of wine together. But it's also important to connect with your loved ones and family. Check on the elderly folks in your family. This is a really, really critical time to make sure that everyone is staying healthy and are abiding by all of the different orders that are out there. And I just want to let you know that you all have within you right now everything you need to combat whatever the world throws at you. And as a result, like, I want you to know that there's so many, like I said before, there's a lot of resources out there. There's, to deal with depression, isolation, and so forth. In fact, on our website, there are, under the COVID-19 tab, we've listed all of the resources that we've been able to gather so that we can provide that as a resource for you. And I also want you to, you're gonna hear from our project managers in a few. They're gonna come on and say hello, but I want you to reach out to them. They're there for you. They're not just there for troubleshooting and dealing with problems that arise with your internships or to the core members, you know, the problems that come up, but they're there as mentors, and they're just there if you need somebody to talk to. So I would really encourage you to reach out to them as well. Here in Georgia, the governor just actually put out an order regarding social distancing and importance of sheltering in place. I can't stress enough how important that is for you to do that wherever you are, whatever state you're in. It doesn't matter whether that order has been put out there or not. We just need everybody to abide so that we can flatten that curve. We really need to decrease the number of these cases as well as deaths. So please do everything you can to abide by the social distancing and sheltering in place. So in closing, I just want to wish all of you out there from the GYF family the very best, and just know that we're all in this together and we will triumph. So I'm wishing you strength and peace. We love you. And with that, I'd love to pass the mic, the virtual mic, over to our board chairman, Guy Jones.
Hopefully I'm off of mute and everyone can hear me. Can we have some shaking heads if okay, so that means I'm being heard. Angelou, thank you so much. Again, my name is Guy Jones. I'm the chair of the board, and I just want to echo Angelou's sentiments. We are thinking about you. We know that it is challenging to be away from family, sometimes at remote places, but we have every confidence that you are tapping into the resources that you need in order to provide yourself with good care, self-care. We care about you. What we're doing is ensuring continuity. We're reaching out to partners. We're making sure that we dot every I and cross every T so that we keep the operation going. And we're also cognizant that we're in an environment where there's constant change, and what we're doing to combat that is to provide information as quickly and as readily as possible on the website and through your program managers. As Angelou mentioned, it's just really important for you to establish a routine where you're tuning out of some of the news, selectively getting an appropriate source and getting that information that you need to stay informed, but also not overloading on it. And on our side, what we're doing is, again, providing those updates through the site so that you are in tune with what is going on, the latest information. Angelou mentioned the need to have a spiritual program and to get out in nature. And I'd just like to echo those sentiments again. Another thing that is being done in a lot of places where you have to have human-to-human contact is conducting yourself as if you already have contracted COVID by wearing a mask. There's a lot of varying degrees on that. There's a lot of information around how to create your own. And so I'm definitely an advocate for social distancing, but if you do have to come in close proximity with people, developing a routine that also protects yourself is helpful. I won't go into great detail, but I will just share a brief anecdote. I lived in Swaziland in Southern Africa during the height of the HIV epidemic, and we faced a lot of morbidity and mortality. And the way that we were able to get through it was just by maintaining human connections. So reaching out to people who you care about, who you love, making sure that you continue to nurture those relationships. And as the times change and as uncertainty increases, rely on what you know is certain and safe. Get out in nature, as Angelou said, and continue to just have an attitude of optimism that we will get through these difficult times to better times. So thank you, and back over to you, and thank you for all of the great work you're doing.
Thank you so much, Guy. I really appreciate your words. And next, I'd love for James Ezilo, our Chief Strategy Officer, to address the audience as well.
Oh. Thank you, everybody, for participating in this call. I know that, like Angelou said, and as Guy pointed out, these are difficult times. We're all going to be facing them in our own way, in our own space. So by way of a little bit of background, about 6 to 8 months ago, GYF embarked on a digital platform transformation. We had already started moving a lot of our um, fax and document production to a file sharing and a cloud-based structure. We were able to successfully complete that migration in November of 2019, which allowed us to roll out a full digital platform for not only our staff, but also for our interns and fellows around the country and around the world. So we needed to be able to communicate effectively, not only from Atlanta, Georgia to New York or to California, but also from Atlanta, Georgia to Lagos, Nigeria, Johannesburg, South Africa, and in Accra, Ghana. So we set out to create a platform that was robust enough that could handle the dissemination of information, could manage meetings in different spaces, different time zones, and still allow us to stay connected even though we were thousands of miles apart. Nobody anticipated that the coronavirus pandemic would be when we would really find out the strength of our platform and really test the effectiveness of our technology. So here we are. And, on this platform, we're using Zoom, but we've also migrated over entirely to Microsoft 365. And that was done last year also, which allowed us greater capacity and capability for emails, file sharing, and meetings. So that platform is in place. With Paychecks and our payroll platform, which is to me just as important as our communication platform, we went to a cloud-based input system for hours and for approval of hours by supervisors and managers with our federal partners and our NGO partners and our private sector partners. That's been working out well. We had things that we had to correct on the front end and during implementation. That took place at the end of last year. So here we are in March of 2020, and we believe that we've worked out a lot of the bugs. But technology is as imperfect as it is an advantage in our lives. So as platforms change, whether it's Zoom, our Blue Jeans platform, which we use for video conferencing, or even our Microsoft 365 package, as they change, our team will continue to evaluate the technology that's available, and we will migrate as seamlessly as possible to the best platform that we have in this space. So our goal is to continue engaging everybody as they work remotely. So we encourage all of you on this call to reach out to your project managers and make sure that you have the best software package available that we've been able to acquire. So whether it's your internet browser, whether it's the way that, whether you've downloaded it, you're working on it in a cloud-based structure, it's going to be different from house to house based on a number of things: your internet service speed, your download speed, even as difficult as your cell phone coverage. But what we're trying to do is make sure that there's a line of communication. So as these problems come up, and they will, like I said, it's not perfect, it's organic. When they come up, we want to be able to get in there, help you fix, troubleshoot, knock out any of the bugs, and allow you to keep working productively remotely. That is the end game. We want you to be safe, first and foremost, and certainly practice the directives from the CDC, but we also want you to be as productive as possible remotely, which means utilizing as much of the technology that's available, staying in consistent contact with your project managers and your field and your supervisors wherever they may be, and updating your status as often as possible. This is the time when it may not be so horrible to call your supervisor more times than they probably want to hear from you, or your project manager more times than you think that they want to hear from you. But we want to keep those lines of communication going, and the best way to do it in this time is the use of technology that's available. So I hope that that helps, and we will continue adjusting and improving the program as we move forward. And we pray for a speedy end to this so we can all kind of get back together into the more comfortable spaces that we're all used to. Thank you for joining the call, and Angelou, I pass the mic back to you.
Thank you so much, James. Next, I want to call on Adrienne Bird, who's our VP of Finance and Accounting. And I thought it was important to hear from her, given the increase of numbers in unemployment here in the country. I know all of you want to hear about the financial health of GYF. So Adrienne?
Good afternoon, everyone. It's good to see you all, even if it's in this virtual space today. I wanted to speak very briefly just about the financial status of our organization. As everyone has mentioned, it is a very scary time. Many of you may have colleagues that are also interns, and they may have different statuses than you. But I want to let you know that at Greening Youth, we are financially sound right now. We are doing everything that we can within the industry, within the country, to make sure that we are consistently staying on top of everything to ensure the financial stability of the organization. A few of the ways that we are doing first is to, one, as the country, is to keep everyone working. So that's why teleworking is very important, making sure that you guys have established telework plans and staying in contact with your project managers, and just to keep the consistency there. That is one of the ways that we definitely want to ensure everyone's peace of mind, is to know that you still have a job and you're still employed. With that being said, payroll still runs as normal. There should not be any hiccups there. I'm sure everyone received their paychecks today, so that's always a good thing. So we just want to make sure if you're having any issues, maybe not connecting with your supervisors, then definitely let your project managers know, and we'll make sure that we get that done, because we want to establish definitely consistency here during this very unsettling time. The next thing we're doing for those few core members that whose projects were not able to do telework, we're also reaching out to private partners, and we're securing additional grants and funding so that we can keep everyone working, regardless of, even if the work is not available or the telework opportunity is not there. We're definitely trying to push as many telework platforms as possible, but also just trying to, at the end of the day, keep the theme of everyone will still have that peace of mind of having a work-life balance or work availability. The next thing that we are doing, I'm sure you guys have heard of many stimulus programs and things that are coming out. So we're compiling resources, one, for the interns, but as an organization, we're also trying to take advantage of all of the CARES Act, as well as the economic recovery stimulus packages, so that we can just secure the organization, so that regardless of how long this lasts, it will always have additional financial stability and financial security, so that everyone can essentially secure, everyone's jobs can remain secure. One thing that we can do collectively, this is a team effort right now, is to just make sure that we're in compliance. So many of you have received direction from your project managers to do your work plans and things like that, and to make sure that we're all collectively playing our parts in the financial stability and security of the organization. We have to make sure that while we're teleworking, that we're all doing everything that we have to do. So submitting all those things that your project managers are asking of you on time, that definitely helps. And it helps to ensure that we're able to continue to build our federal partners and do everything that we need to do to continue to pay everyone in a timely manner. That's pretty much it. Like I said, everything is changing daily, but do understand and rest assured that we are on top of it daily. We are charting everything and doing everything that we can to ensure that everything is okay and that everyone can have that peace of mind to sleep and rest assured at night. In my final words, I just want everyone to continue to stay positive, stay safe, and most of all, stay healthy.
Thank you so much, Adrienne. I really appreciate those words. I'm sure the attendees do as well. Next, I'd love to hear some high-level updates from our Director of Programs. And that would be, let's start with Dr. Daniel Jones, who's our Director of Urban Youth Corps Programs.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is staying safe and healthy. I just wanted to give you all a couple of updates on the Urban Youth Corps and UCTI facility. So we are definitely monitoring closely the latest updates and developments surrounding the coronavirus. it definitely has impacted our core as well as our programming. A lot of our programming and training has been suspended. I've been at a halt right now. So we're switched over to teleserving as well as teleworking. And that consists of a lot of our courses on Clayton State. Our curriculum has been uploaded to a web format. So we have our core engaged online with courses as well as training, and really staying closely in communication with our partners. I mean, just developing the logistics has really given us a time, given us a time to iron out a lot of the logistics, really being able to get the core involved with some of their ideas and creativity, allowing them to build closer relationships with the community as well as a lot of our partners. Then we've been having a lot of great questions and conversations surrounding some of their benefits, so just making sure everyone is up to date, being made aware of the resources that are in the community, as well as local medical facilities that may be near to them, in case any of them or their family members need to access those. As far as our UCTI facility, that's really been at a halt. We have some of our crops, for you all who don't know, we also manage a 5-acre farmland as well. And that's kind of been at a halt right now, but we do have some of our crops that's being ready to be harvested. And as far as core members coming in, we only have 2 that have come in on rotation, and that's zoned off as well into different sites, so no one is in the same proximity at the same time. Everyone is practicing social distancing as well. With that being said, any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out. And we're definitely here for you all, and any guidance and any latest updates we can provide, we definitely will. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Daniel Jones. Next, would love to hear from Ebony Preston, who is our VP of Programs. And if you would, introduce our intern afterwards.
Absolutely. Thank you. Before I start, I just want everybody to agree, but as Ebony Preston, Director of Programs at the Green Youth Foundation. And I really want to start by reiterating what others have said, to let you know that we understand that this is a very difficult and crazy time, but we certainly commend you all on the great work you've been doing over the last several weeks. I want you to know that you're joined by over 100 interns and fellows working virtually at parks and forests and regional offices in 20+ states, and you all haven't missed a beat. To add to that, we've had 6 participants transition to permanent positions with the Forest Service and National Park Service during this time, and we're so proud. That being said, I also wanted to mention that we have some great upcoming opportunities for you all with professional development and networking with those same people, and just some good conversation. So please be on the lookout for emails from your project managers and updates on our social media, specifically for the Green Speaker Series and a sip of green tea. To add to that, I want to stress how important it is that you all connect with your project managers. James mentioned it earlier, but if you have any questions, concerns, needs, updates, please let us know. Communication in general is really important, but it's definitely critical at this time. And we just want to hear from you. For our supervisors and partners on the call, I want to take this time to thank you for your support as well. There's been a lot of transition on your end, and you've certainly kept us all in mind, and we really appreciate that. Before I go and introduce the next speaker, I just wanted to remind you all again to stay safe, stay connected, and as always, thank you for your service. But now I have the pleasure of introducing you all to Crystal Bullock, who's been doing some amazing work with us through the Forest Service's Resource Assistance Program, and she's done a lot of that work remotely. So Crystal.
Thank you, Ebony. Greetings, everyone. Again, my name is Crystal Bullock. I'm a rep, but I basically work as a project manager. I do a lot of projects with Tennessee State University, Michigan State University, and a lot of projects with joint partnerships with EPA. It has been a challenge with the coronavirus, but it's no need to be discouraged. A lot of my projects have to be changed because we were getting ready for the National EJ Conference, the Manners Conference, and National Public Health Week, since I do have a background in public health, and a lot of my work is centered around environmental toxicology, environmental determinants of health, and how that impacts vulnerable communities and populations. However, I'm connecting with students. I make myself pretty much a calendar and kind of have an itinerary, even though I'm not in the office as normal. Still conduct yourself business as usual, kind of stay up and wake up around your regular schedule, you know, block out times for meetings, block out times to answer emails, but also just take some time for yourself, since we are in uncharted territories and this is new for a lot of people, but it's still a time to just be creative on how you do your work. So I do a lot of Zoom meetings, do some Google Chat hangouts with some of the students and with our partners, and just learning how to overcome this virtually. So again, stay safe, stay healthy. Try not to get into all these blogs and, you know, conspiracy theories. Try to keep up with the news and listen to your local public health practitioners and directions from the CDC. So thank you, Ebony.
Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you so much, Crystal. And I can't underscore that enough, that we really, and I think a guy said it, we really have to limit the amount of social media, but news that we take in, you know, like put that on a schedule of when you're actually going to watch the news and take that in, because if you just have it going on in the background, it does affect you. So just be very conscious of that. So thank you for those words, Crystal, and for that reminder. Next, I'd love to ask our Director of Development, Renee Alston, to say a few words.
Hi, Angelou. Thank you so much. Well, I wanted to really just kind of commend everyone for the work that we're doing. Of course, we're able to keep our interns working. The staff is still working full-fledged. And I want to really take this time to thank our partners, our federal partners, our private partners, local, and, you know, some of our private sector partners. Kind of some of the things that they've been doing here lately is stepping up, really helping us to keep these interns not only engaged, but fed, you know, clothed, you know, so a lot of times we don't think of the trickle down effect of what's happening. And that's, you know, some of the kids are placed at remote locations. They don't have maybe the resources to get food and things like that. We've had partners to step up and do things like gift cards from Publix, Supermarket, from Georgia Power, helping us with donations, Patagonia. So we just really are thankful for them. But I also want to employ us to think of them as well, to think of them in a sense of making sure that we're sending well wishes and good vibes toward them, because on the other side of the organization, they're humans. So we want to make sure that we remember that, and that we take time to post for the interns, make sure that you're posting, that you're tagging some of these partners in that, because it's crucial for them to see the work that you're doing, so that when the support is coming, it's not like, you know, they're just supporting people sitting at home. You are actually working. We want them to know the work that they're doing. We want them to know that what you're doing is important, and their support is important as well. So with that being said, I'll turn it back over to Angelou. And again, we just want to say thank you to our partners, both private and public and federal.
Thank you so much, Renee. I know we have some partners that are going to be speaking a little later. And you know, we're whizzing through this agenda, so you know, we definitely have time to hear from them all. Thank you, Renee. Next, I'd like to hear from Yero Winborn, who is our digital content manager and the guy responsible for putting all of this together. And every time you see an image, a post, anything on social media, it is this dude right here. So I want to thank Yero. And I want to just have him say a couple of words to you all as well.
Thank you so much, Angelou, and thank you all for joining the call. I can't stress the importance of social media enough. Your voices, your perspectives are all important, and we want to hear the interns and the young adults who make our work possible so much. So I'd like to invite all the interns and even some of our supporters, demonstrate how you are doing work and demonstrate how you are staying active during this COVID-19 crisis. We want to hear videos from you. We want to know what you're doing. We also want to know why you're outside. How are you connecting to conservation during this time? You can share your contact information, and you can keep up with new initiatives that are going on because of the interns. The interns work very hard to protect and create different opportunities for ourselves and themselves. Not only do they want to get hired, but we want them to get hired. So this opportunity is a time for us to show that we can keep people engaged and we can keep our youth engaged. I want to see youth and all our interns demonstrate what's going on and what is important to you. Being outdoors is very sacred to me. I actually got a lot of time to sit and think during this time. And what I did was meditate. And what I did was really feel the importance of nature. Nature is something that is so healing and so cathartic and so imperative. And I think because people are trapped in their homes, or not necessarily trapped, but feeling close to their houses, it's time for us to step outside and actually feel the environment that's in our immediate vicinities, and we can show everyone how important it is to us and what we do to preserve and protect it.
Thank you so much, Yarrow. That is something that I've noticed as well, and I'm calling it the silver lining moment, because just what's happening with the environment and this planet as a result of us all kind of pausing has been beautiful. So it's kind of eerie, but at the same time, I think the planet is certainly appreciating it, because it is taking time to heal. Because we're not contributing to pollution and not on the roads as much. So it is that silver lining moment. So thank you so much, Yarrow. And next, as Renee said, we do have a couple of partners that wanted to join us today and wanted to address all of our interns and core members and staff. So next, I'd like to call on I'll start with Merlene Masick, who's our program manager for volunteers and programs with the USDA Forest Service. Merlene?
Hello, Merlene.
I see her name there. So perhaps we'll go to Sloan Richardson. Sloan Richardson is a Patagonia manager, and he's also on the line. Are you there, Sloan?
I am, guys. It's wonderful to hear from you. First off, I just want to say this call was so worth it for me. Just you guys have inspired me just by hearing what you guys are doing, and that you're kind of keeping on, if you will, because I know a lot of our nonprofit partners are struggling right now, but you guys are going strong, and also just not letting this thing get you down, if you will, because Patagonia, we're also having to reevaluate where we are business-wise. We're to protect our customers and our community. We've shut all operations across the globe. There's nothing open for us right now except Patagonia Provisions, because we wanted to support the community by providing food to those folks that wanted it. But anyway, just super inspired by you guys, first of all. But we just want to continue to support you guys as we always have with clothing donations, because you guys have folks on the front lines right now, and just reach out to us. We have funds for that, and when grants, we're going to continue to support you guys that way as well. And once this gets, it will end, guys. And once it does, I want to continue our partnership with events, which I always find super inspiring to see you guys face to face and hear what you're up to. But I think another thing that we could do, we're shut down now, but as we ramp back up, I think there's going to be plenty of opportunity. Unfortunately, during this time, there's always staff shuffling and people move on to other things, or people are trying to find a safe place, and sometimes that means leaving our facilities, or in particular leaving Atlanta. But going forward, as we ramp back up, I would love to have some of your interns come work in the store with us, because I mean, just like I said, you guys are inspiring, and just hearing your passion for the outdoors, which is, that's what Patagonia is all about, is protecting the environment, and also just the more folks we can get out to enjoy it, as unfortunately, I think you guys have said is the silver lining of this, is everybody is getting outdoors, because that's one of the only things we can do. But I think people are learning how healing that you guys have mentioned how healing the outdoors can be, and cleansing, cathartic, all of those things. And that's what Patagonia is all about, because the more people now that get out and see the beauty of it all and see what it can do, they're going to be more inclined to protect it. And that's what we're about too, is just getting folks out and just protecting the environment and enjoying the outdoors. But we would love to, anything you guys need that we can help you out with now. I know it's rough times for everyone, but anything that we can do for you guys, you just let us know. And like I said, it's been super inspiring to hear you guys. And just thank you so much. I've got a call right after this with my Atlanta team, and I'm going to pass along all this info. It's actually, I'll probably just steal all your guys' lines that you you've already written my script for me. So but thank you so much, guys. You know, just I'm always thinking about ideas. I didn't know you guys had a farming aspect of your group, so I'm like, oh, that's more right up our alleyway. So we'd love to. Already got that in my notes where we can connect on that later. So, but anyway, thank you so much for everything that you guys are doing, and just let us know how we can help. Like I said, right now, I know on tap, if you guys needed clothing donations, I know that's how we're helping a lot of our, not only nonprofits, but also just our people on the front line. We're shuffling a lot of that stuff to the ERs and that kind of thing for people that are just having to be around the clock. So, but if you guys have a need for that, let us know, okay? But thanks again for everything you're doing, and thanks for the inspiration more than anything. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sloan. We really appreciate you. And I just want to say, I'm sure I can say on behalf of everyone, yes, yes, and yes to everything that you're offering. But no, we really appreciate Patagonia. And just for everyone out there, I mean, you all have supported us even before this pandemic. So before with, you know, grants and clothing for our core members and staff, and, you know, hosting events. So we are really appreciative of what you all are doing, and we appreciate that our missions seem to align. So we love Renee for, you know, always saying, what about Patagonia? Patagonia will do it. Patagonia will be down, you know, so she is definitely always making sure that you all are right there when we start talking about partners with a cause. So thank you for your work. And if there's anything that we can do to help, would love to get you guys out there on the farm. I'm sure Daniel's taking notes, copious notes right now. So you'll definitely be hearing from us. So thank you, Sloan. And I think I just saw Marlene Masick, who is, oh, awesome, our program manager for volunteers and programs with the USDA Forest Service. So Marlene, I will pass the virtual mic to you.
Thank you, Angelou, and thank you guys for hosting this forum to connect with participants, the core members, resource assistants, all of your staff. I'm glad to see that many of us are safe, and that we are doing our best to take care of our families and ourselves first. The kind of information that you all are providing is so helpful to relieve some of the stress caused by this so very unexpected world event. So just wanted to express our appreciation. But mostly want to express the appreciation for the partnership. We've done a lot of work together. I mean, gosh, dating back to 2012, I think, 2013. And this was one of the most fruitful connections I made in my career at the Forest Service, and just really blessed and fortunate for all of the great work y'all are doing, and for the opportunity to do it with you. So thank you. I think that for the partners, and we've had a call with GYF and other partners just this week, there will be some guidance that will be available to help them manage how they can continue to support the engagement of all of you.
Oh, great. Well, I just want to, first of all, thank you for the invitation and echo what Marlene stated, as well as a lot of what's been stated on this call today. I just want you guys to know, in terms of the National Park Service, I mean, we are fully committed in supporting our park units and our partners. And I think what we've been focusing on is just thinking of ways of how we can be of more support. And that's been our target. I know our primary focus has been on the health and safety of everyone, but how can we be of more support? How can we be creative in this challenging time that we've all never experienced before? So, and it was just funny because George was just echoing you, speaking of some things about the importance and value of programs like these yesterday, and he talked about just the creation and development of the HBCUI program. So, and how we need to figure out ways to continue to be of support to the young people and make sure that we can provide opportunities. So yeah, so we've just been focusing on how can we continue to support the park units and their needs and our partners once we go back to work. And so, yeah, so I just want to say again, thank you guys for all the work that you do, the opportunities that you're providing our young people, and we're excited to continue, this relationship and be of support in any way that we can.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ernie. And that was almost as if you prepared that. So you were great on the spot, and you know how much the National Park Service means to us. And we have so many interns out there that are working with the Park Service at your various sites. And of course, our HBCUI program is our flagship program. So we're happy to hear that that's something that you all also hold dear and want to continue to support and move forward. And we are right on time now, because now I would love for those out there to meet our project managers. So what I'd like to do is to introduce the project, or actually call on a project manager, have them introduce themselves and say what partners and programs they're working with. So I'll start with Kennedy. Can't hear you. Kennedy, we can't hear you.
Greetings. What about now? Good
Yes.
to go? Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks everyone for joining the call today. Just want to shout out, I see a lot of the interns on the call today as well. How's it going? We've been speaking a lot, during this teleworking phase, and shout out to the partners as well, who's actually been, very patient with us and working through this process, and we're all learning together. So I'm a programs and development manager here at GYF. For those that do not know, I work with National Park Service sites, Forest Service sites, and LBJ, which is Lyndon B. Johnson Job Corps sites as well. In addition to our outdoor retail partners, attending a lot of the outdoor retail shows and just engage in different outdoor retailers, for the benefit of the students, of course. So that's my spiel.
Thank you so much, Kennedy. Jamila?
Hi, everybody. I'm Jamila Jackson. I work with the Historically Black Colleges and Universities Internship Program in partnership with the National Park Service, also known as HBCUI. I also work with some of our NGOs, such as the SHOCA, the Children's Wellbeing Initiative, and currently we have a project with the Atlanta Audubon Society.
Thank you so much, Jamila. Alex?
Hello, everybody. My name is Alexander MOMON. I manage the projects with the Bureau of Land Management, the National Park Service, and the North Face program.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Next up, Christine.
Hi, everyone. My name is Christine, like Angelou stated. I am the program manager for our environmental education programming here at GYF. And I also manage projects with the National Park Service as well as with the Forest Service. And I do want to thank the interns that I reached out to that were able to join the call today. Thank you for coming and being a part of the discussion.
And also our Thrive program. So you're our environment.
Yes, I forgot that, our Thrive Outside program. Thank you for bringing that up, Angelou.
No problem. Cameron?
Hello, everybody. My name is Cameron Dunnings, and I'm the Alumni Outreach and Project Associate here at Grinning Youth Foundation. I also work with Brigham Young University, and recently we just sent out a survey hoping to collect information from interns. So if you participated in that, a huge thank you, as that was insanely important, and we'll have the results for those out soon. So yeah, I hope everybody is staying safe and having a little bit of fun, hopefully not going too stir crazy. Take care.
Thank you, Cameron. Next, Shatiba.
Hi, I'm Shatiba Bradley, and I am a project manager with Jamila. So we oversee HBCUI and also a great new program partnered with Park Foundation and Fund 2 called InternX. And lastly, we partnered up with Fish and Wildlife. The program is called the DFP, or the Directorate Fellowship Program.
Awesome, Shatiba. How about JAINA?
Hi, everyone. My name is JAINA Reed. I'm a project manager, and I oversee our programming and support with the Forest Service across 5 of our regions, and then 1 program with the National Park Service. And I just want to say hi to all my interns that I see on the line as well. And I'm so proud of you guys for your flexibility and resilience during this time of transition.
Awesome. This is so heartwarming for me to see this. I would really love, and I know that Yero, you are helping us right now, but this is when we want to open up the floor, if you will, for questions. We have about 10 minutes. So Yero, would you like to guide us in this part of the address?
Sure thing. So, Angelou, what are some things that youth and people can do to not go stir crazy during this time?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, meditation is good. I like movement. There's something about working out and dancing and doing things, and I guess it's the endorphins. Once you get those endorphins going, it really helps with stress. And not to mention, it combats all of the snacking that I've been doing during this quarantine. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I've been buying a lot of quarantine food and eating it all. So yeah, I've been needing to do a lot of exercise, but that does help with kind of diffusing a lot of the stir craziness that you feel. Definitely have gotten really deep into a lot of, probably more than I should, all the Netflix and all of the content that's on television. I know I should be saying that I'm reading all these incredible books, but I'm just keeping it real. I'm watching a lot of TV. Just watch Tiger King. Can't believe I said that. Oh, and my book, yes. But you all should definitely be reading Engage, Connect, Protect. It's an amazing book. Thank you to my chair who just pointed out that I should share that, and encourage folks to read it. Any other questions?
Rachel just commented that we should do some birding.
Birding, that's a great idea. And I'm actually on the Atlanta Audubon Society's board, and there are a lot of activities that they have on their website, and they're of course national. So for all of you, if you visited the Audubon Society's website, there's a lot of birding activities that they recommend in just your backyards. So thank you for that, Rachel. That's a great idea. I have been doing a lot of birding, and I'm sure, because it's spring, and I think that my favorite bird, James is too, the hummingbird, is about to visit us soon. So please be on the lookout for our hummingbird. But birding is a great suggestion. Thank you.
Absolutely. We got a couple more comments coming in just saying that their recommendations for us, if we could look into ways to develop our own masks, that is very helpful. Scarves and cloth is very important to help stop the COVID virus as well as other pathogens. And Lynn has mentioned that we could start a garden as well. How can we stay connected with our partners?
Absolutely.
And I believe Bijan
Great
has
question.
offered.
Okay, let's do the first part first. So ways to stay connected to our partners. So, you know, we have Ernie and Merlene and, you know, and we also have Sloan on the line. So we're staying very connected to our partners, and they often share ways in which we can connect with them through activities. So stay connected with your project managers and ask them about direct ways of connecting with our partners, because they too are figuring out, just like we are, ways in which you all can stay engaged and connected during this period. So I would say, you know, go on their websites, talk to your project managers, and you guys should be, you know, doing Google Hangouts, connecting with each other, you know. So that's something that Cameron mentioned. You know, and I think you mentioned, Ebony and Kennedy, if you'd like to talk a little bit more about the two things that we're about to launch, I'd be more than willing to pass you the mic so that you can share those two things.
Well, I will start. This is Ebony, and just saying that, one, the chat's amazing, and that we have our additional partners like Canberra also giving resources. And so what we'll do, everyone, you don't have to write frivolously. We'll make note of all of these recommendations, and we'll be sure to add them to our website. As Angelou said before, we do have that COVID tab where we have listed some resources, but they keep coming in and they're awesome. So we'll definitely share those. And just FYI, we've gotten a lot of folks from across the country. I see folks from Puerto Rico and from Florida and from California and Colorado just saying thank you for the space. I think there's a lot of community right now, and it's very heartfelt. So we are glad to hear that you all are safe and well. And certainly, if you do have questions, feel free to put them here in the chat, but you can certainly reach out to your project manager as well.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Ebony. And I think someone was asking, or Lynn suggested in Bijan, the importance of gardening. So yeah, definitely. Bijan, did you want to talk about gardening for a second?
Yeah, briefly, just also mentioned on the chat. Hi everyone, I'm Bijan. I just mentioned on the chat a hotline that New York State is offering. And it's all about mental and emotional health. We forget about that part a lot of the time, and it is so important that we have that outlet that we're able to express ourselves.
And Bijan,
right now,
I'm actually
getting outside and gardening is so good for us, not only physically by getting that fresh air and vitamin D, but also emotionally and mentally. And it also acts as a way of meditation.
Yes. Thank you. I was going to say, if you can just take away your video, that may help the audio. And I guess someone got that to you. No,
can you guys hear me clearer?
Yes, we can hear you a lot better. Thank you. Oh, is there something else you wanted to add?
No, I just wanted to mention that hotline and the importance of going outside and gardening, but also being very careful, because a lot of people, as I saw mentioned in the chat, just be mindful of your surroundings and be safe, everyone.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, so I'll go ahead, Ebony. Do you want to just kind of reiterate those two programs while we have everybody on the line?
Sure, I'll definitely do that. And just wanted to add, because Marlene and Ernestine are giving some great tips in there too. Just Marlene from Forest Service is saying that you all make sure you schedule weekly, if not more frequently, check-ins with your host site supervisors and mentors. There's a ton of conference calls that they schedule. Make sure you get on those and different staff groups at the host sites. Ernestine brought up the brown bag lunches, for you all just to kind of chat. I know GYF is doing some of those as well. And so I'll go ahead and use that to say that we'll have two programs coming up that we're very excited about. The first being our Green Speaker Series, which we want to do regularly, and that will kick off very, very soon. That was that doodle that we sent out. So please make sure you respond to that if you haven't. But we're going to meet each week and do some professional development. We're going to have some past interns talk about how they transition to permanent positions. We're going to talk about best practices in working from home, making sure that you're staying sane in all of this, just ways to be effective, learning, networking, conversations, and ways for you all to grow in this space. If you have suggestions, things that you really are just interested in learning about, let us know. We'll put it on the list. This is an ongoing thing. It started amidst COVID-19, but it will certainly continue beyond that. And then we'll also have a sip of green tea, which I think is so cool. Think of a coffee break, if you will, and that we're just talking to people out there. So we'll talk to people like Anjulu and interview her, and other CEOs and our big partners, and just we're going after the top of the top and just getting them for 15 minutes to say, let's see where you are. Let's see what your company's doing. If you have advice, resources, things that you use to get to where you are, and just the opportunity to talk with them. So there'll be about 15 minutes, and those are coming too. But if you all have some suggested names or interests, things like that, again, let us know. This is really driven by you and your interest.
Thank you so much for that. And I just love that. That one is called A Sip of Green Tea. And guess what the hashtag is? Bring your own cup. I love that. My sons are probably like, Mom, you're so corny, but whatever.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Well, on that note, it looks like it's 1 o'clock. I can't thank you all enough. And gardening, Merlene, I'm seeing your note. Gardening, yes, is so important, you know, just to get your hands in that soil. But I just want to wrap up now. I want to be conscientious of your time. Thank you all, you know, all your interns and partners and core members and staff and our board of directors and everybody that's on the line. Thank you for joining us today, and get outside, but abide by that social distancing. All righty. Bye-bye.